I'm not here to tell you to stop buying nice things, but I am here to tell you that not all luxury items are created equally. After spending thousands of dollars on designer items and being immersed in this luxury community as a creator, I've noticed quite a few themes over the years. There are very specific categories of items that almost always lead to buyer remorse and are categorized as luxury regrets. I'm going to explain why those items almost always disappoint and alternatives where your money would be better spent instead. And at the very end of this video, I will reveal the number one category that most people regret. Feel free to drop your guesses in the comments section below. I have a feeling most people will not guess this category correctly. First up, we have luxury beauty. If you are not new to my channel, this will come as no surprise to you. I have said many times before that luxury beauty is not worth the price tag. Inherently, there's nothing wrong with luxury beauty products. They are typically very well formulated. They usually use very high quality ingredients, but they are absolutely not worth the price tag. When you buy luxury beauty products, you are typically paying more for the logo, the packaging, and the marketing. I'm not saying that you can't occasionally buy luxury beauty as a treat, as an indulgence. Clearly, I have purchased luxury beauty myself, but for your main products, your main routine, specifically for your skincare, I recommend staying away from the luxury brands and going with a clinically proven, scientifically backed skincare first brand. You will typically find products that are just as good quality for a fraction of the price. And don't just take my word for it. I'm going to insert a reel from a cosmetic formulations specialist, and she makes a really great point that luxury brands are not using some special ingredients that you can't get elsewhere. All of the labs that formulate these products are all working with the same ingredients.
You guys want a 5-second expose on the beauty world? First of all, we're all working from the same toolbox. There's only so many raw materials and so many places you can get them from, okay? They have to come with safety data sheets and COAs, and it's a big deal. You can't use just anything. No cosmetic lab in the world has fluorescent green vials and insanely beautiful mad scientists hovering over the next toxic beauty potion that will keep you young forever. They look like this. In fact, this is a nice one. Only telling you this because you need to stop having FOMO over not getting the latest trend in skincare, and that if you don't use it, you're going to be old and wrinkly forever, because you won't. Wear your sunscreen, be happy, enjoy the ride.
So I often find I can find just as good products that work with my skin type, that solve any problem areas I may have, and they're often a fraction of the price. I have a few of my personal favorites here. 2 skincare brands that I absolutely love and I will use forever. Number 1, we have Calisum Skincare. I found this brand a year ago and I've actually been working with Calisum. So if you've been around my channel before, you've heard me mention this brand. I will put my discount code on screen. It's always valid. It never expires. I love Calisum. They use a really innovative stem cell technology. This is absolutely wonderful for reducing wrinkles, fine lines, reducing redness. I've been using their products daily for over a year now, and I absolutely love them. These have delivered really, really amazing results in my skincare. If you're looking for something that you can find easier in stores, a favorite of mine that never disappoints is Lancome. This is their Genifique serum. Their Genifique line is amazing. Is it inexpensive? No, but it is also less than the high-end luxury brands. And I find that those products work so well. They never disappoint. I also really love Lancome makeup as well. Here's their foundation. I love their mascara as well. And again, much less than the high-end luxury brands. So when it comes to luxury beauty, I would definitely say Keep it as an occasional indulgence, as a treat for yourself, but I would avoid luxury beauty for your daily routine. The next category is costume jewelry. By definition, costume jewelry includes no precious metals or precious stones. So a lot of luxury brands use things like metal alloys, canvas, leather, cords. There is nothing of intrinsic value used in costume jewelry. You are 100% paying for the logo. Again, am I saying to never buy costume jewelry? No, that's not the case. As you can see, I do have a few pieces myself. It is nice to have a few pieces of luxury costume jewelry if you like the logo. Here, as you can see, I do have a Chanel brooch. Luxury brooches are really popular. A lot of people love these for putting on jackets, hats, or other accessories. I do also have a Click H bracelet from Hermes. I really love this one, mostly because I really love the illustration on this bracelet. But would I spend tens of thousands of dollars building a huge collection of luxury costume jewelry? Absolutely not, because luxury brands do not stand behind their product. When that product eventually tarnishes or gets some sort of wear and tear, luxury brands will not stand behind the product. Usually they will not repair costume jewelry. Too bad, so sad. You're on your own. You can try a local jeweler, but again, I find oftentimes that local jewelers also won't want to repair costume jewelry because for things like metal alloys, they don't know exactly what's in that metal. Honestly, what I highly recommend instead is investing in a few quality fine jewelry pieces. Of course, with fine jewelry, you are getting things that are made out of 18 karat or 14 karat gold, sterling silver. So these things do have intrinsic value. So from an investment standpoint, they are just so much better. And if you do get wear and tear or something gets damaged, luxury brands will typically stand behind their product. Again, services that are offered do vary from brand to brand, and a lot of brands will charge you for repairs. They are not inexpensive, but they will stand behind their product. You can also take fine jewelry to any local jeweler and get a repair. Those are often less expensive. For me, especially for fine jewelry, I always go for quality over quantity. I find that to be a much better approach and a much better investment. Definitely keep that in mind next time you're in the market for jewelry. Look at the fine jewelry. It's more of an investment, but you get so much more for your money, and you also get the peace of mind knowing that you can repair your item. Next up, we have a very specific category, and that's full price designer shoes. So many people regret paying full price for designer shoes because number one, they're exorbitantly expensive. In 2026, if you want to buy a brand new pair of designer shoes fresh from the boutique, you are often looking at $1,000 or more. The price of shoes has gone up drastically. It's really not worth paying over $1,000 for a designer pair of shoes that either you A, won't wear very often, or B, will get scuffed up and worn out in the matter of a season. It is so incredibly easy to find designer shoes on sale. Even brands like Hermes and Chanel put their shoes on sale. The only caveat with those two brands is they're often put on sale in private sales, so it's for existing customers only, and you do have to be invited to their private sale. But there is a workaround that I think is really underutilized by a lot of people, and that's shopping through department stores. So not only do some department stores carry designer brands themselves, But if you shop with a personal shopper who's employed by the department store, you're not paying any extra to use, they can often access other brands like Fendi and Louis Vuitton, just to name a couple. A lot of the major department stores have luxury boutiques within the department store. So a department store personal shopper can access those brands. You won't see it on the website, but a personal shopper can get them for you. And if you have a loyalty card or you're part of the loyalty program at that department store, you can often apply your loyalty points to those purchases. A lot of department stores also run promotions where you might pay full price for a pair of shoes, but you get like triple points or double points, and those convert to gift cards that you can then use on other purchases. So there are so many ways to not pay full price for shoes. And then, of course, the other option is just to look at outlet stores, outlet websites, and pre-loved websites. You can often get shoes pre-loved in like new or excellent condition for well below retail. Shoes really don't hold a lot of value, and they are so specific to what size you need. So it's really hard to move shoes, and they do often go much lower on the resale market. Probably the best purchase I made was this pair of Louis Vuitton Blossom slingbacks. I bought these pre-loved for $350. They were used, I don't know, maybe once when I bought them. They were in very good, almost like new condition. $350. They retailed for $1,050, so I got them for roughly 65% off. These were a really great deal, so a fraction of what I would have paid in the boutique to buy these. Definitely look pre-loved, shop those department stores and outlet sites. Please do not pay full price for designer shoes. The fourth and final category that I don't think too many people would probably guess is designer collabs. That is right, you heard me, designer collabs. More often than not, these are regrets. The best example that's happening as we speak is the Audemars Piguet and Swatch collaboration. This actually just launched a few days ago. Last Friday, Audemars Piguet and Swatch collabed on the new Royal Pop pocket watch. I was obsessed watching all of the reels every day last week to see how many people were waiting in line. I also saw a lot of videos from the actual stores on the launch day where people were literally stampeding to try to get one, and a lot of Swatch stores actually didn't open because they deemed it to be too dangerous for the staff. It was really wild. All of these designer collabs, here I have one from the Louis Vuitton and Murakami collab from last year. These rely on heavy hype and FOMO to sell out the collection. Often what that does is it gets people buying the product whether or not they actually like it. It also drives up the resale prices incredibly high. For the Audemars Piguet and Swatch Royal Pop, these retailed for $400. Resale prices over the weekend got as high as $4,000 for a $400 pocket watch, and literally 3 days later, the prices had already crashed down to around the $1,000 mark, which is still significantly higher than $400, but like the height of the resale prices and the crash came so quickly, it was incredible to see. And I'm sure the resale prices are even lower now. That was the resale crash like 3 days after the launch. Don't give in to the hype to pay these incredible resale prices. And generally speaking, most of these designer collabs are not everyone's personal style. Stick to items that are actually your style. They go along with your wardrobe, your lifestyle, things that you're actually going to use. I noticed at the end of 2025, I was watching a lot of videos on best and worst designer purchases of the year, and I noticed the Murakami collab came up in a lot of videos. A lot of people said like, oh, well, I love the item, it's iconic, but I really just don't use it that often. So this was not one of my best purchases of the year. And please hear me when I say, just because something is iconic doesn't mean it belongs in your closet. If it's not your style, it's not something you're going to wear, you're not going to use it, unless you are a collector and you have a collection of all of these pieces that you like to have and you hold on to them, fine. But if you're just buying pieces because you want a piece of the collection, you absolutely do not need it. So keep that in mind for the next designer collab. Stick with the ones that truly speak to your personal taste and your personal style, and you will not regret it. So that is my full list of expensive things you should avoid getting because you will probably regret it. This is not to tell you to stop buying designer or luxury items, but let's just try to spend our money in ways that will bring the most benefit back to us. If you have any other luxury regrets, I would love to know what they are. Or if you have any other categories to add to this list, please share them in the comments below. As always, I'll leave another video up here for you to watch next, and I'll see you in the next one.